Over the years, I've learned a lot about romantic relationships. Some of what I've learned has been through trial and error, and some of it has been through reading, talking to friends and experts, and doing my research. I've also learned a lot from other people's mistakes and missteps. Today, I'd like to share some of what I've learned with you so that you can avoid making the same mistakes that I and others have made in the past. Everyone has at least one toxic relationship in their lives, and most of us have multiple ones. The definition of a toxic relationship is one in which one party dominates and abuses the other, often to their benefit rather than the other person's. Even though toxic relationships can be difficult to break out of, it's often worth the effort. Here are some ways to avoid a toxic partner in the first place. If you're dating someone who constantly puts you down, who is emotionally unavailable, or who is physically abusive, it's time to find a new partner. But how do you know when you're with a toxic person? The good news is that there are many red flags you can look for to determine whether your partner is a good fit or a bad one. Perhaps the most obvious sign of a toxic person is their behavior. If you're dating someone who seems to be causing you more harm than good, it's time to take action. Toxic relationships can be hard to recognize at first. They can be so normal that they seem like the only option. But the longer you stay in one, the more likely it is that you'll become overwhelmed, frustrated, or even scared. You might find yourself wondering if you're crazy for feeling the way you do. Avoid toxic partner by asking these questions. There are plenty of ways to avoid a toxic partner, but sometimes we don't recognize the warning signs until it's too late. Here are some red flags to look out for to avoid a relationship with a toxic partner. Is this person loyal? When your partner is loyal, he never cheats. He is always there for me. He brings me flowers and surprises me with extra attention. Being in a relationship is difficult, but when you find someone who is loyal, loving, and patient, it makes things a lot easier. Over the last few months, I have discovered that my boyfriend, who I have known for longer than I would have liked, is a good guy. He is kind, considerate, and understanding. He is also very patient when I get tired or busy and never seems to mind when I am not available. I'm not sure what I expected when I first started dating my boyfriend, but it certainly wasn't this. He's been loyal and loving in ways that I never would have thought possible, and I have come to rely on that. I have never felt more secure and safe than when I am with him. He has shown me so much love and affection that I sometimes forget that I am talking to a man who is not my husband. When I first met my boyfriend, he was everything I had ever wanted in a man. He was kind, funny, and thoughtful. He truly seemed to care about my feelings and my well-being. Throughout our relationship, I came to know him as the man I thought he was, and I had no reason to doubt his loyalty to me. I've been with my boyfriend for 5 years now. We met in college, and have been inseparable ever since. We moved in together after we graduated and our relationship has been solid ever since. Over the years, we've shared everything: dinners, movies, Netflix binges, and even each other's laundry. Do they have a history of cheating? Cheating is a serious offense. No one expects their partner to be 100% faithful. But when your partner strays, you feel betrayed, angry, and sad. You may even question whether your relationship is worth keeping. Your partner has cheated on you before. While this may be disappointing, you shouldn't feel guilty or hurt. You may even be relieved to know that your partner has a history of cheating. This will allow you to take precautions to protect yourself and your relationship in the future. When you're in a relationship, it can be hard to imagine your partner straying, or even be tempted to cheat. But sometimes, your partner's past indiscretions come back to haunt them, and you have to decide how to handle it. You could decide to keep quiet and hope it doesn't happen again, but that might not be the best course of action. If you're worried your partner might be cheating, the best thing to do is find out for sure, without raising suspicions. Cheating is a serious offense. It hurts the trust between two people and can cause a lot of damage. If your partner has a history of cheating, you must find out as soon as possible. Maybe your partner is being honest and hasn't cheated, but you still want to know if they have a history of cheating, so you can make an informed decision about the relationship moving forward. The worst thing you can do when your partner starts cheating is to keep quiet. Instead, learn as much as you can about the affair, and use it to hold conversations with your partner when he or she returns. This will keep you in the loop and make you seem like you care, even if you're not saying anything. Also, be honest when you're asked if your partner has a history of cheating. Are they abusive? Abusive behavior is a term used to describe a wide range of actions and behaviors that are coercive, aggressive, or threatening. It can take many forms, including physical, emotional, and verbal abuse. While the term abusive behavior is often used in a general sense to refer to any behavior that causes harm or distress in a relationship, the term is most commonly used to refer to physical, sexual, or emotional abuse. However, the term is also sometimes used to refer to other forms of abuse, such as financial or psychological. If your partner is abusive, it can be hard to know what to do. But it's never too late to start making changes. There are things you can do to help stop the abuse, and there are people you can reach out to for help. This guide will help you to recognize when your partner might be abusive and give you the tools you need to help. The most basic way to know if your partner is being abusive is to talk to them. Abusers often deny that they are being abusive, which is why it's so important for victims to speak up and tell their partners what is going on. If your partner isn't listening to you or if they seem confused about what you have said, that is a sign that they are being abusive. They should also be supportive when you talk about it. There are many signs that your partner is abusive and may be causing you emotional and physical harm. The most obvious signs are physical, like bruises or cuts. But verbal and emotional abuse can also be signs that your partner is abusive. The most common signs of emotional and verbal abuse include: your partner criticizes your decisions in a manner that makes you feel ashamed or guilty. If your partner is abusive, it can be frustrating and scary to try to determine what is happening. You may wonder if you are being paranoid, or if your partner is abusive. However, if you want to ensure your safety, you must recognize when your partner is being abusive. The phrases and actions below are some of the most commonly exhibited signs of abuse, so if your partner exhibits any of these behaviors, you must speak with an expert so that you can seek help and move forward with your relationship in a healthy way, rather than continuing to be in an abusive relationship. Are they a narcissist? They think they are always right. Narcissists will never admit when they are wrong, instead choosing to keep their beliefs to themselves and view whatever situation is at hand as something completely black and white. This can make it difficult for the people they are closest to understand what is going on in their minds, which is a big red flag if you're trying to understand their behavior. 2. They think they are always right. Narcissists tend to be perfectionists, so when it comes to something they are passionate about, such as their career or the direction of the relationship, they tend to feel that there is nothing more to learn. As such, it can be difficult to convince them to try something new or to see things from a different perspective. However, their need to be right in almost all situations can be frustrating and even dangerous when it comes to arguing and other sensitive topics. They refuse to listen to you. Often, narcissists will have an answer or a reply to everything. If you try to discuss something, they won't even let you finish. They'll interrupt, change the topic, or just plain ignore you. They think they are always right. A person with NPD will never admit when they are wrong, even when the facts or the other person is right. They will usually only agree to change when they are forced to, and even then will only do so if it's what they wanted all along. 2. They always have to be right. No matter what the issue is, they always have to be right. If you have a differing opinion or viewpoint, they won't consider it. They are never wrong.